Tonight on Stars in the City, special guest, comedian Dave O'Neill, our resident psychic, Gavin Reichel, and lots more. Now here's Julie Ann.
And welcome to the show. Each week we serve you up a cosmic cocktail of everything mystical and magical, along with some great guests and a bit of fun. And joining me in the fun today, Gav Reichel.
Hi, how are you, Julie?
I'm great. We had a great response to last week's show.
We did, we're still here.
It's very good. It's a good sign.
It is a good sign.
We just have to kind of, wonder if we're going to be here for the end of the season and we might collide with the Mayan calendar.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
But a lot of the people that were asking us questions about the global financial crisis,
yes.
which of course is another crisis that people are worried about. My background's a little bit in financial journalism and, I do a bit of financial astrology, so I've written about this quite a lot. Mm-hmm. And certainly 2008 was not the end of it at all. It actually sinks in with the Venus transit that's happening again this year. In 2004, we saw the beginning of things. 2008 was the midpoint, so that's when we had what was perceived as the global financial crisis, and now 2012 is the conclusion.
Tell me, is that the middle of the year?
It's in June.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
I've laid out cards for this year in terms of where to wait, so to speak, for where you want to do something. And June, from the cards are all disastrous till then, and then they sort of flip over literally in the middle of the year.
Yeah,
so,
June, from an astrological standpoint, we've got this Venus transit. We've got the two big guns of the planetary sphere, Pluto and Uranus. Make an exact square.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so Pluto is complete transformation, and Uranus is stuff happening out of the blue, chaos, revolution, rebellion. It's marching in the streets kind of stuff.
It's kind of what I wondered, because I'm not sure whether it's the middle of the year is, oh no, we'll have our global financial crisis and it'll be all fairly horrible, but then middle of the year it'll turn a point and it'll be okay, or middle of the year it's going to turn a point and a lot of things are going to have to change.
I think there's certainly, change isn't coming anymore, it's actually here.
Yeah, it's here.
We are there.
We've arrived.
It's happening now, and June's also got an eclipse,
of course,
which is, so there's the trifecta, and what are you going to do? So hang on to your hats and let's see what happens for the rest of the year. This week on Stargazing, we're looking at Katy Perry and Russell Brand, who have recently split. They're an interesting couple because she's a Scorpio and with a lot of planets in Scorpio, and he's a Gemini Aries. But the interesting thing about him, Gav, is that he was born on exactly the same day as Angelina Jolie, who we did last week.
Oh, wow.
The 4th of June, 1975. He's like an astro twin of hers.
He doesn't look quite like her, though, I have to say. But okay.
It doesn't look like her, but it's really interesting. This is how you can be born on the same day and all those planets are put into different houses. So with Angelina, she's got this big stellium in her career chart, and it's also in the humanitarian sector that does all her overseas travel and all of that. So that's where the focus is for her. With Russell, it's all in his 8th house, which is, of course, the house of sex, amongst other things. And he's a self-proclaimed sex addict, and it sort of shows up in the chart that this is where all the activity's going on.
There you go. That's where all the power is. The planets are hanging out in that house. So.
It's a really interesting one because generally Scorpio and Gemini aren't a good match.
Well, except for us. I mean, because we're Scorpio and Gemini,
exactly.
And we get on all right. So.
Well, but we're not in a relationship, so we're just friends, which is okay. But it's kind of they're not signs that are connected in any way, and it's the fascination almost, because Gemini likes to be entertained and have things that are different, and Scorpio is just so interesting in that it's this mysterious dark waters, and Gemini's trying to work out what it is, and obviously they've come apart because there wasn't that thing there to gel them in terms of them being enough similarities, I guess.
Yeah, sort of the same sort of personalities. I mean, you're right, Gemini is much more sort of wanting to be and out.
Yeah, it's a light, bright sort of kind of getting out amongst it, circulating parties, having fun.
Not that Scorpios are boring, mind you, but I think you're right, that they tend to be more private, but probably more fun, but in a more dark way. You know what I mean? So
exactly. There's a lot of stuff going on underneath. And I looked at Katy Perry's chart and I just thought, you know, I have not seen such a difficult chart in such a long time.
Really?
This girl has got Sun, Pluto, Mercury, Saturn, Moon, Saturn, all in Scorpio. And it's like she's just had a difficult time from the moment she was born. And she's had Pluto going over every single one of those planets from the time she was born until about now.
So where's the star bit come? Because I mean, you know what it's like. Difficult children. I mean, look at Michael Jackson and all those people. They
exactly.
all, you know, they shine because they've had this really horrific, I suppose, childhood. But they become stars. Where does that come from?
Well, because Scorpio, as you know, is so resilient. It's like Teflon coated. So it's like they just keep picking themselves up and keep going. Yeah. And then they turn it into, because it's such a creative sign as well, she's turned it into a way of communicating with her generation. And I've got the lyrics to her song Fireworks, which...
Actually, it's actually very mystically... There's a nice big energy rise in the middle of the track, so
it
sort of makes you feel really
it's
empowered.
really connecting into all of that collective out there, and that's why she is the artist of her generation, I think. More so than what people think of her at the moment. It's a bit like Madonna. When she was young, people just sort of thought, oh, this isn't going to last long. Yeah. But I think this girl, because she's got that Scorpio and Pluto on the ascendant, she's just going to keep reinventing herself. Change is what it's all about, and she will just keep shifting and changing. Yeah. I see a really...
But like Madonna, I mean, Madonna used sex to a large extent in her early career to sort of create a feel. And when I heard that song, I thought, oh, that's such a nice song. It's so, it really touches my heart. And I saw the film clip, and it's her standing on the balcony with all these fireworks coming out of her breasts. I thought, not quite. No, exactly. So, you know, she's picking both sides of the market, I guess. You know, the people that are listening that want that emotive feel, and people that want to, you know, she's a great-looking woman. So
So will we pull some cards?
Yeah, please. So we're talking about Russell Brand and her, and in terms of her relationship, is that where you want to look at? Or
I don't know that there's much of a chance of them reconciling. But I think they'll always be good friends. They've got the good friendship links in there, but I just think the relationship was just probably a little bit too much. So let's just see what the cards say for them anyway.
Yeah, okay. So we start with Russell and see what it's like. Because, I mean, it's interesting that he's so dark in some ways. Like the comedy is there, but it's sort of trapped in a darkness for me. I always thought that was
which is the same with Angelina Jolie. There's a darkness about them, and it's Pluto opposing all their planets.
Which is interesting because this is Bast, which represents play. So I think that
he likes to play. He's a player,
definitely a player. But that's not a very dark card. That sort of is very much a light being. So maybe he's turning a corner and he wants more light in his life.
Exactly.
I mean, he's a funny guy too. So that
he is funny and he likes a party. Yes.
Yeah. So let's do one for her too.
Yeah. Okay.
Centering. So I suspect that she is going through, by losing him and all the chaos that goes with him, she will actually find a much more centred person. And she'll probably mature as part of that. So this is actually a good card for her too.
It's great. Thanks for that, Gav.
No worries.
Our special guest tonight is Dave O'Neill, comedian, man about town.
Sure.
What else are you up to these days, Dave?
I've got a comedy festival coming up, doing a show called You Don't Really Have a Job, Do You, Dad? Which was something my son said.
Yeah.
And all the details at my website, daboneil.com.au.
Yep.
Do a lot of gigs for funnyguys.com.au.
That's right, yeah.
You've heard of funnyguys.com.au.
We've heard of funny guys, we know funny guys.
Funny guys. And you know, I'm just out and about. I'm on the Adam Hill show at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm the live cross guy on that, So you'll see me around, you know, I'm at the bus stop.
Oh, people know your face from somewhere. It's kind of like,
I'm sort of familiar,
Yeah, you're a little...
Did you used to be a primary school teacher in Frankston? No. I get that sort of stuff. Or, did you work in a bank in Sunshine? No. I'm a comedian. No, that's not it. You get that all the time. Anyway, I have to say your appearance is a bit disappointing. I thought you'd be dressed like a gypsy.
I know.
You know what I mean?
No rings and no
rings,
turban.
It's
Where's the crystal ball?
Where are the tricks too? Where is the,
no tricks. We've just got one little chart here of all your astrological information, all the details that you provided. So you're born on the 8th of May. Makes you a Taurus.
I'm a Taurus.
Taurus the bull.
Yep.
And the one thing about Taurus that we know for sure is they are stubborn.
Yeah,
if you
just
don't
ask
want
my
to
wife.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't want to do something...
I don't reckon I'm that stubborn. Anyway, go on. Yep.
I agree with your wife. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
Because the other thing that you've got is moon in Leo. So your moon in Leo.
Leo's a mental. I went out with a Leo once. Look at me, Leo.
Look at me, exactly.
Yeah,
look at me. And so that's where the moon was.
That's where my performing comes from.
That's where it comes from. That's why you want to perform.
Oh, you're leading me. I know how you do it. You just get me to talk.
No.
I know. I've seen these tricks.
No, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So you've got that. You've got the Leo moon that wants to perform, wants a bit of attention, but not too much because you've got that Taurus sun that isn't
I don't
quite,
like too much attention.
Too much.
You're right.
But then you're Gemini rising, so you can do a lot of things at once.
I drove a Gemini. That was more breaking down than rising, but anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So it's that ability to do a couple of things all at once.
Yeah, I'm a good multitasker. Yep.
So which usually...
Unlike my wife. Okay, good. Yeah, good. She's not watching. Don't worry.
What sign's your wife?
Cancer.
Oh, lucky you remembered.
Yeah, airy. Oh no. Hang on, I'll tell you.
So
I'll tell you the date. You tell me.
Yeah, you.
July the 20th. So.
Yeah, she's just Cancer.
She's Cancer.
Yeah. Well, the other thing in your chart is that
the good Cancer, though.
The
not
good
the bad
Cancer,
one,
exactly. Cancer is good for you in that respect.
Not the one that kills you.
No.
Maybe one that kills you slowly over 20 years. Anyway, I hope she's not watching. I hope no one that knows her is watching.
No, well, good. Taurus and Cancer get along.
Yeah, we get along.
You guys get along well.
Yeah.
You're an earth sign. She's a water sign. You put water and earth together, and they stick. So
I don't like washing.
No. Well, Taurus
we're like mud together.
You like mud.
We're like mud.
So you stick.
Well, we've been together for a long time.
Yeah. So it's
when are we breaking up? When are we running off the next door neighbour? When's that happening?
Okay. No time soon.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'm too lazy for that kind of thing. I've seen it happen to mates. It's not good.
It probably is a thing with Taurus that it's once again that...
Are you single?
That's that fixed... Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Yep.
It's that fixed sign that, you don't like a lot of change.
No, I don't.
You don't, even though you've got this Gemini rising which wants change all the time. So this becomes that kind of, which way am I going to go here? Because you get bored really easily, but then at the same time you want to have that sort of security and that knowledge that...
I do like security.
There's a lot of security.
I'll end up working in security at Hungry Jack's on a Saturday night. Don't throw the pickles on the roof, guys. Come on. I'll be that guy in security. I'd be pretty good, I reckon. Anyway.
I reckon you would be.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
The other thing that in most comedians' charts is the planet Saturn. Saturn's all about timing. So you guys have got an ability to, your timing has to be really good to be a comedian. And yours is fantastic because you've got Mars opposite Saturn. So it's like you just do it instinctively. It's almost like you can't help but know when that moment is. You're always aware of time.
Just missed the moment, whatever. Timing. Yeah, okay, yep.
So, and it also kind of, for you, it's up near your career path, so it's that hard slog of just,
struggle.
The struggle.
That's what my autobiography is going to be called, The Struggle. It hasn't been that much of a struggle, to be honest, but anyway, yeah.
No, it's kind of just, it's like you work at it though.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been obviously in front of the public for quite a long time, but it's one of those things that you keep working at it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And you're a little bit sceptical.
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah, which is kind of the thing that...
A lot of comics are, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people with strong Capricorn, strong Saturn are very sceptical. They want the proof. They want you to say, you want to lay out all the facts.
Yeah. What am I thinking about at the moment? Just tell me.
When is this going to end?
Close, but what's for lunch? Is the if you can read my mind, big guy. You could generally if it's about 1 o'clock, or something 12, whatever. No, it's at night.
It's actually about 9:15.
9:15.
Yeah.
PM.
Yes, on a Saturday night.
I've had dinner. Oh, I'm a twin, so I didn't tell you that. I was born as a twin. Well, I've got a twin brother. Does that matter at all in your chart?
Yeah, it's the thing I was saying about the Gemini rising with the twins, the sign of the twins, so that's that dual personality. Are you twins that are identical, or are you twins that are kind of...
We are identical, but he's very skinny.
Personality different?
And I'm quite fat, yeah. It's like a before and after ad, me and my brother. And he's lived overseas for at least 15 years. So.
Okay.
But he's different to me for sure. He can barely speak English now because he lives in Switzerland. Yeah. But anyway, he is different to me. Yeah, for sure. I'm more closer to my older brother now, who my mother says is the really funny one. So yeah,
that's always nice, isn't it? It's that you have got, Jupiter and Gemini, that Gemini rising, and that is about the twins. Sometimes when there's twins, people say, "Oh, I'm so different to my twin, but we were born at the same time, so astrology must be rubbish." But what happens is that one twin tends to take on some of these energies and the other one takes on the others. So it becomes that you actually are almost split in two.
So I took on all the food and he took on all the water. That's what's happened. I got the fried food, he got the salad.
Oh, that's right, exactly. Well, thanks for coming in, Dave.
Hey, no worries. I feel different. Is a spaceship coming soon to pick me up?
Yeah, beam me up.
Beam me up, come on. Take me away.
Angels and guides, you hear a lot about them, but what are they?
You're asking me?
I'm asking you, Gav, because I guess we've all got our preconceived idea about what the angels are, but there's always people getting confused with, the archangels, and then what's my guardian angel and who are my guides, and, I think you are probably what we would call an expert on this topic.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but let me have a go. So,
okay.
Let's start with the low, dare I say the low level? Not really, but
the ones that are closest to us.
You. That's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Is your guides. So they're the ones that are kind of somewhat attached to you over the course of your life, and people hold a fairly high view of those people, of your guides. Think, they know everything, and they'll be able to guide me through everything.
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
Find me a car parking space. Yeah. That's what we usually call upon them for.
I must admit, I use parking angels for that.
Parking
but anyway,
angels. They're always good.
That another time. Guides are really, I guess from my mind, not to make it too scientific, but sort of have a wider view of what your life is. So you're in 3D kind of world, running around in time, so time is in sequence. Yeah. And for them, they kind of have an elevated view, so they can sort of see
across time
your life without the obstruction of time. Yeah. So that allows them to sort of see a lot of the possibilities and permutations and combinations of things that might happen to you. Well, that's pretty good information. If you
but you've just got to then hear it.
Well,
and that's the thing that most people find difficult. How do you get to talk to them? How do you listen?
There's some good ways to do that. I actually, depending on what I'm doing, I like to just sit at a laptop and type. So what comes to my mind, I'll just type it. Because I find that then you don't lose what is being said. Yeah. Another way, just start talking and listen.
To what you're saying.
Listen to what you're saying, and also listen to if there's thoughts in your head that are coming back. You will start to adjust in the four hemispheres of your brain. There'll be one point that'll be your guides. Now, it's different for different people, and that is probably the most confusing thing for most people.
Because it sounds like I'm just talking to myself.
Exactly.
And you have to kind of sift through all of that.
You do.
Well, I mean, you do the cards, and a few people have asked, what cards are you using? But obviously you are talking to guides to help you with those readings as well.
Absolutely.
Which is a little different to what I do with the astrology in terms of looking at the planetary positions. So how do they help you with the reading?
Well, the cards that I use actually are called the Goddess Oracle, and they, so most people when they go to a tarot reader use tarot decks. They use a Rider-Waite deck.
Yeah.
And it's based very much in old school,
And some of those images look so scary that if you go to a tarot reader and out comes the death card, it's
you're like, oh my God. Yeah. Which really, it means not that at all.
Change.
Usually it means change. Yeah. These are a little more, they deal with the emotional aspects of a reading. So when you're asking a question, most people, the reason they don't do something, or the reason they're having an issue, or they can't work out why this person and this person are not getting on, or the situation with their money, what is blocking them.
Well, that's quite emotional too, a lot of the time.
Well, most of the issues that you have in a mundane life are emotionally based. So what these do is actually highlight that and say, well, have a think about these issues while you're doing this. There are also pictorials of situations like, being a mother, anger and all sorts of other things that you come through. And The guide part of it is the interpretation of the cards.
Yes.
So
it's all the interpretation, isn't it? Then it comes down to us. We have to work out what it all means.
Well, a good divination artist will be someone that can take the tool, that's the physical tool, and divine and bring it down to the tool and then use it. Same with an astrologer. So when you pick up a chart, I mean, you probably identify relatively quickly there's a planet that just goes bing on the chart, and that's the sort of the divination.
Exactly,
so,
and that's what that information's coming through. Next week we've got comedian Brad Oakes coming in, and we take a look at Prince William and Kate's chart.
Where's the baby?
I know, that's what everyone wants to know. Well, we'll tell you. If you need any more information about your horoscopes, go to our website, starsandcity.com.au. Until then, may your stars be good stars. Have a great week.